happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. Today I'll be reviewing the Kaito KA332W. It's an AM/FM NOAA weather radio, which is dynamo and solar powered. Let's take a look at it. We have the model number, the weather radio, loudspeaker, earphone jack, a bunch of things it can do, and we'll go over those. Little pictures on the side, different colors, nothing on the bottom, top, back. You get the idea. I purchased this radio for $19.99 shipped from eBay, and let's give it a look. So the inside here, they provide a charging cable for the internal battery. We get a little page of instructions. It's pretty basic. The reason why I purchased this radio is because right here it uses an optional AAA batteries as a power source instead of the internal lithium, which could fail on you and you'd be stuck with nothing. So having this is really nice. My Sanjin does not have that ability, even though it's a better built radio than this one. I just wish it had a backup battery like that. Going through everything, just kind of shows you some of the features, some of the specs. The battery is a 500 milliamp hour, 3.6 volt battery. It's the size of a AA battery. I opened it up to take a look, and I was expecting to maybe see one of those 3 mini cell packs that you see in cordless phones, but this one is like a single AA battery, and it's kind of like right up here by the speaker. So give you an idea what it is, and it had a 2 little leads soldered to it, so it wasn't like something you just pop out and put in. You'd have to have some skills in desoldering it to change it. Okay, well, that's the instructions. A little bit about the battery internal. So let's go ahead and see what the radio looks like. Comes bubble wrapped. I got the yellow color because it makes sense in an emergency. You can find it easily. That or red. Definitely my favorite colors for an emergency radio. Let's go over dimensions. Our length is 6 inches long. Our height is 2 3/4 inches high. And our width is 1 3/4 inches. Okay, let's look at the radio. On the front, we have a speaker grill, but if you notice, the speaker is a real tiny little thing up there. So don't expect much in the audio front for sure, because you can even see the dynamo crank handle through there, down the bottom. So over here we have a charge power light. If you notice, it's picking up light from the LED, the solar panel from our LED light. It's charging. We have a 3-band select switch, NOAA AM/FM. We have a battery select switch, alkalines, and internal power lithium battery. Here we have an on-off switch and volume control. And here we have our tuning knob for the 3 bands. As you can see, 1 through 7 on the NOAA band. AM is 520 to 1710, and then FM, is 88 to 108. Okay, right side of the radio, we have a headphone jack. You will not be using this jack. It's very noisy. I don't see anybody sitting there privately listening to this radio during an emergency anyway. So yeah, ditch the idea of using headphones. Charging out 5 volts. Definitely emergency only use. I don't see myself cranking away trying to charge something unless I had nothing else. DC in 5 volts, very important. I would charge with this cable before I put this away, and every 3 months make sure the battery's charged. Being that doing it by the crank here, I would not, and we'll explain that in a little bit. So the left side of the radio, we have a 3 LED flashlight. Top of the radio, we have the on-off switch for the flashlight. We have that solar panel. We have an antenna that extends 13.5 inches and swivels 360 degrees. I like that. The bottom, we have the Dynamo Handle. The reason why I wouldn't use this a whole lot is only for emergency is because this little latch seems pretty generic, like that's going to snap off. It hooks in this little tiny lip I just don't see that lasting long as far as opening and closing it. So use this in an emergency only, and that's the only time I'd use this. So that's probably the last time I'm going to use that until I need to. Okay, so on the back of the radio, we have a frequency chart for the NOAA bands and company name. And behind here we have access for 3 AAA batteries, which we're going to put in. This is nice. Like I said, I bought this radio because of this option right here. This was the big deal. And 2, it has the NOAA band. I mean, why else would you want an emergency radio? You got to be able to hear what's going on with the weather. It's usually why your power's out. So let's go ahead and put this in. Okay. And then we'll select the internal battery. If it runs dry, we'll have those alkalines. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on the NOAA band. I'm going to turn this down to the bottom of the band, turn the radio on, and extend my antenna. So I get a little bit of a signal on channel 1. Barely audible, but it is there.
Sunrise tomorrow is at 7:18 a.m. You're listening to NOAA Weather Radio, KXI41, serving the north and northwest suburbs, including Woodstock, Libertyville, and Elgin. The current time is 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The following is a lakeshore flood advisory from the National Weather Service.
And then
Lakeshore flooding, strong north to 18. Then temperatures becoming steady or slowly rising. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour.
I get that channel 7. So that's nice. I get those. I get about 3 stations. 5, of course, being my strongest. 7, my second strongest, and that channel 1, my weakest. But at least I have the 3 options. So as you saw, the tuning light went on when it was in tune, and you can see we're charging off the light again. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to the AM band. We're going to see what we can pick up. Go to the bottom. And I'm going to go slow because it's step tuned. In step tuning, you got to go real slow. Ease into the stations.
That's until he called Team Oscar, who informed Dan about lending rules which no longer required the deduction of child support and alimony from a divorcee's income when securing a mortgage. Team Oscar considerably fewer plate appearances. So there's something, it's got to be something about the way you see the ball coming out of that pitcher's hand. I guess so. And then, but it's a lot of, you know, once I get the experience, really, that's all I really need. Just get more experience. And, you know. Ryan has agreed to a $10.85 million one-year deal with the Cubs. That's a record for a player eligible for arbitration for the first time. Addison Russell, Kyle Hendricks, and Justin Wilson also agreed on deal. Kevin Powell, WG. A $130,000 payment to a porn star to prevent her from publicly discussing an alleged sexual encounter with Mr. Trump in 2006. Wall Street Journal says Mr. Trump met Stephanie Clifford, also known as Stormy Daniels, at a golf event about a year after he married Melania. As for tonight, windy occasional snow, a low of 9 degrees. Friday, some flurries, and a high of 24. Saturday, partly cloudy, cold, high of 17. Sunday, sunny, and a high of 20.
Stations are kind of hard to get, but they're there.
David is in Georgia.
You can get some distant stations on the AM. It's rather difficult, but it does work on the strong stations that you heard. I can get about 4 or 5 strong stations, which is great. In an emergency situation, you're going to want your local stations anyway to know what's happening. We're going to go to the FM band and see what we hear there. So the trick is easing into the station.
It seems like a lot of these companies and businesses are really being shy about lavishing the praise.
2 parts to that. Number 1.
Sorry, because I know she's listening. And I treat...
Wyruszają na te zimowe wakacje.
Because, you know, it should be easy. TCF free checking. Free as in no monthly maintenance fee.
Knock out road rage with your request. 800-223-9510.
I drive through the night.
Trying to see where I'm at. These is black on black marker here. Hey, classical. This radio's good. Typically this is a hard spot to get that station.
Chiquito todos los días, ¿eh?
Sí, por favor, dale un Gatorade.
Although my heart is falling too.
Przemyśleniami na temat dzieciństwa. Tytuł...
Okay, so that ran through the bands there. Okay, let's get some final thoughts. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and put the antenna down and look at the light. We didn't do that yet. So if you're wondering, yeah, it's nice and bright. I mean, I could turn some lights off here. We can see how it's a decent, you know, you can definitely read by it. You know, if I had to, you know, so this is good. You can definitely see it lights up the room here for me. Hitting the table is not a great example, but it does a great job as far as the light goes. So in emergency, you're going to want that. So let's go ahead and turn these back on. Okay. So yeah, handy. This radio for 20 bucks, it is definitely a buy. Number one reason is the NOAA weather radio part there. Having the channel 7 comes nice and clear for me. Having the dual battery, I like the idea of there's an internal lithium battery, not a nickel metal hydride battery. That's a bonus. It's the hand crank, yeah, it's there, but I'm not going to be using it too much. But it's there just in case. The speaker, definitely, you heard it doesn't sound really good, but at least it's adequate to get you information. That's all you care about when you have something like this in your hands, when you're in that situation. Having this nice bright light on here is definitely the most important thing you can have in an emergency device. Light to see where you're going and information to know where to go. So that is very important. Having this as a backup, if you can get reception from a cell tower, that's great. Having solar power for extended periods of time being out is great too. Being put in a window. I haven't tested that charge, but I'm guessing a day in the sun and it'll be fully charged. So, and then of course, like I mentioned to you, having the alternative batteries. Everybody has AAAs laying around typically. That's a nice feature to have. And I would definitely recommend this radio as a buy for $19.99. I can't see a household without an emergency radio, and if you can't afford a more expensive style one, this will get you what you need done and all the information you need. And it's not a bad product. Seems solidly built. I was able to get reception with the station, so it is a buy in my book. Well, thank you for watching.